Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Legend Quest, the Omnibus Edition. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this simulationist classic fantasy role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about attacking and melee combat. Attacking is simply accomplishing an opposed task. Attacking can consist of the use of melee, range, or artillery weapons. When using melee weapons, the base attribute is strength, the range base is agility, and the artillery base is knowledge. All of the ordinary modifiers apply, such as skill levels, group skill levels, non-skill attempts, etc. During a normal attack, the chance of success will be the base multiplied by 10%, plus the weapon levels used multiplied by 5%, plus miscellaneous modifiers. The main resistance will be the defender's modifiers. This could include parry or dodge, and will be covered in a few moments. Therefore, the extended formula for chance of success is the base multiplied by 10%, plus the weapon levels used multiplied by 5%, minus the parry or dodge. Concerning melee combat, this is any combat that takes place using hand-to-hand weapons, such as swords, spears, and clubs. Even if these weapons are thrown, it is still considered to be melee combat. The base chance of success is the attacker's strength. This base can then be increased by the attacker's skill levels in the weapon being used, including the appropriate group skill and the melee genre skill. If the defender is aware of the attacker, he or she may attempt to parry or dodge the weapon. Parrying consists of avoiding attacks while still managing to counterattack. Parrying subtracts the defender's agility multiplied by 5% from the attacker's chance of success. The defender may also use skill levels in the weapon he or she is presently holding to decrease the chance of success, which is resist. Each level used to parry will increase the attacker's chance of success another 5%. Parrying is also increased by the defender's parrying weapon, but only during melee combat. Each weapon has a parry modifier, which is further subtracted from the chance of success, but this modifier does not affect projectile combat. So parry equals agility multiplying 5%, plus weapon modifier, plus the weapon levels used multiplying 5%, plus shield modifiers. Since levels can only be used once in a round, characters must split their levels between offense and defense. Not only must the levels be split for offense and for defense, but the defensive levels must be split between all attackers. Any skill level used for parrying may only be used for parrying one attack. It is not required that characters use levels to parry. Characters may opt to use all their levels for attacking. Dodging is similar to parrying, but is considered an action. If a character decides to dodge an attack during the turn, the character has used his or her action for that turn and may not return the attack. No weapon levels may be used to decrease the chance of success when dodging, although if the defender has a weapon in hand, the chance of success will be decreased by the weapon's dodge modifier. So dodge equals agility multiplied by 10% plus weapon modifier plus shield modifiers. Shields can be used while parrying or dodging. Not only do shields have base, parry, and dodge modifiers like weapons, but they can also decrease the attacker's chance of success even more. For each skill level in shield, that is group or specific, that the defender uses, the chance of success is decreased by 5%. Like weapon levels, each shield level may only be used once in a round. This means that the defender must split his or her shield levels if being attacked more than once in a turn. Shield, base, parry, and dodge modifiers may only be used against a limited number of targets. This also limits the effect of shield levels. If a shield user does not have the minimum number of levels required to use the shield, only the base modifiers apply, and no shield levels may be used. Both group and the appropriate specific levels can be added together to reach this threshold. This is true even if the character has no skill with a shield. If shield levels are used for shield bashing, they cannot be used for defense. If the character does not have the strength needed amount, they will be unable to raise the shield appropriately for defense. In this case, they will not receive the base parry or dodge modifiers. Depending on the size of the character, they might be able to take partial cover behind the shield, but this will only work if their attacker is at a distance. Assuming that all attackers and defenders are the same size, the following rules apply to the number of combatants in melee combat. No more than 2 attackers may attack a single defender from the front. No more than 3 attackers may attack a single defender, 2 in front and 1 from the rear. No defender may block more than 1 opponent, unless the terrain is suitably narrow. Oversized weapons, such as a claymore or a maul, or differing sized attackers and defenders, will change these rules according to the circumstances. It may be possible for tall characters to attack over the heads of shorter allies, a good reason to choose an ogre for your character species. For this to work, the short ally must be half the height of the tall attacker. The defender must be taller than the short ally, and the tall attacker's weapon must be suitably long. A shield can apply its base parry or base dodge even when the attacker cannot be seen. The idea here is that the physical presence of the shield is worth some level of defense, even if not being manipulated. This is only up to the maximum number of attacks that can be affected by the shield, depending on its size. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about projectiles and brawling. This system handles a good balance of strategies and tactics. Depending on your choice of gear, equipment, weapons, such as a two-handed sword or sword and board, you will have to rely on parrying and dodging respectively. But everything that happens during a fight, maneuvers and such, the terrain, etc., will add or subtract percentile bonuses to your attacks or your defensive maneuvers. And this is without counting how you distribute your skill levels between attacking and defending, against several opponents even, at once. It is quite realistic in my opinion, because in real life, you can only focus on so many things at once. As you become more skilled, you can focus on many things, but there is always a limit. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.